All right, guys, what you're seeing on screen here is the kind of thing that the average guy in his 20s wants when he thinks about his life. He wants to do epic adventures with his friends, jet skiing in a cool city. Maybe it's taking out a bunch of cars together, or it's going on a backpacking trip. He wants to have some sort of cool car. Maybe he's into motorcycles and he wants one of those. He wants a cool place to live. It could be a penthouse apartment, a place with a view in a cool city, or maybe he just wants to be able to travel around to multiple locations. Basically, the average guy wants a life of adventure, pursuing interests, and he wants freedom and control over his life. Yet, most guys never get this. And instead, what most men get is stuff like this. They get some minivan with some crap house in a random subdivision working a desk job. This is the life of the average guy. Like, imagine, like, this house to me, this is a model house that gets built in my area a lot. And I look at this, I'm like, this has got to be like somebody just had no personality when they made this house. And it's like you're living in that kind of house, driving a minivan, working in a desk in some random town. You are just literally a random guy. That's all you are at this point, just a number on a spreadsheet. Guy number 1,332,027, something like that. Like that's what average guys end up being like in their life. Despite what they wanted, this is what they end up getting. And instead of going on epic adventures with their friends, it's stuff like this. You got the Mickey Mouse ears on with your kids at Disneyland. You've got, you're going on a cruise ship, right? Right here. It says Royal Caribbean addresses unruly child problem. So imagine you're in this hot tub in this picture right here, and you're on a Carnival cruise, and there's kids splashing around in the hot tub. There's your kids in there, but there's also other kids in there. They're splashing around, and you're just sitting there. You just spent a month of your income on this family vacation that you're not even that thrilled about, so you can eat some dingy buffet on some cruise ship full of fat people. And it's just, you're in a hot tub getting splashed by random kids. They're crying, screaming. You can see your wife right there in the corner. She just looks frustrated and irritated by you. You look dead inside. Or maybe you're a guy wearing a fucking mermaid outfit like this, and this is the kind of thing you're doing for trips. You're not going to the Grand Canyon kayaking with your boys. You're wearing a mermaid costume with your kid. And listen, like, there's nothing against, like, you want to take care of your kids, you want to have good trips with them, that's great. But like, is this the kind of thing you want for your life? When you think about it, it's like, yeah, this is what I dreamed of. This is what I thought about when I thought about a great life for myself, was Mickey Mouse ears, kids splashing me in a hot tub, fucking Band-Aid in the hot tub, because there's always some dirty ass Band-Aid. That shit just grosses me out. Wearing a mermaid costume or some shit, and you spent a month's salary on this kind of thing. Is this really what you had in mind for yourself? How does this happen? How do men end up in a spot where they get nothing that they wanted in life? Well, it's because men trade their freedom for a woman. They trade the freedom and purpose and adventure for matching pajamas on Christmas Day. That's what they do. They end up looking like some shit like this. They gave it all up for a woman. But it doesn't have to be this way, guys. This is not some video that's going to trash women and be like, you got to stay single forever. MGTOW. Like, that shit's kind of gay. Like, you want to have a girl in your life, obviously. But there's a way you can do it so that you can have your freedom, have purpose, have an awesome life, and have the girl in your life, have the family that everybody wants and that I would recommend. I obviously want to have a family as well, but there's a way you can do it so that it doesn't completely destroy your life. This video is going to show you how you can avoid ending up like 99% of men who destroyed their lives and lost their freedom for a woman. And to do this, you need to avoid 5 big mistakes that men make, and that's what we're going to discuss in this video. The first one is dating like a woman. This is the first big mistake that guys make. And this dating like a woman, what that means is essentially a relationship or commitment-centric focus and doing it immediately. Essentially, the average guy is thinking about dating, finding a girlfriend, finding a wife, all this kind of stuff right out of high school, right out of college. It is his top priority immediately. So you got to understand, guys, for women, the relationship is primary. Success for a woman is found in a relationship. Women are naturally more social. They like community. They are way more, their brains are literally more wired and attuned and adept for social situations. They will notice things in social environments that you don't notice because you're a guy and you don't think like them. And so for them, the white picket fence, having kids, having a husband, a dog, all that that kind of stuff, being around their family, like the family builder kind of thing, the hearth and home type stuff, that's for women. That is success for them. But for a guy, it's a completely different thing. But most guys don't get this. And so they date like a woman. They are chasing female goals in their lives. They are chasing this immediate, got to get a girlfriend, got to get married, got to have kids, got to do the family thing. But that is a female life goal. Men are different. For us, success is primary. You got to understand, like, for a guy, you have to pursue success before pursuing a relationship, because success for us is not a relationship. You know, if you're a guy who has a girlfriend or a wife, but you're a flat broke loser, everybody's going to look at you and be like, this guy's a fucking failure. But if you're a girl, you don't need a job and nobody's going to judge you. Guys don't care if their girl has a successful career. I don't give a shit, right? Like, is she pleasant? Is she pretty? Is she feminine? Does she support me and my goals? Does she make my life easier? Does she bring peace to my life? Those are the kinds of things guys are thinking about. We're not thinking about career. But it's different for guys, and you have to understand this. And if you're going at this with the mindset of dating like a female, making the relationship the priority of your life, and hearth and home is what matters to you, you're gonna end up fucking yourself up, because you're dating like a woman and you're not pursuing the first things first, which is getting your shit together and becoming successful. But instead of focusing on building success, most guys are doing this kind of shit, right? They're on every dating app possible, spending all their money on dating app premiums. They are going to clubs, bars. They're asking themselves the question, how do I get a girlfriend? They're doing this all the time. It's this immediate thing where they're like, they have no plan for their life, right? They don't really know what they want. They're working some random job. They haven't established a career. They have no purpose, but they're spending all their time trying to hunt down a woman to complete them, right? It's their obsession. The average guy's obsessed with, gotta find a woman. How can I find my girlfriend or my waifu? Like, all this type of shit. He's like trying to find her at church. He's trying to go to social things. Like, he's Googling, how do you meet women these days? Like, all this type of shit, which could be solved if you just pursued success first, but they don't do this. They do this kind of shit instead and chase a woman, and it just fucks your life up, and you end up in a spot where you have no freedom. You gave it up for a woman. The problem with relationship first for men is that it doesn't allow you to establish yourself. This is so important. Without establishing yourself, you cannot have any freedom. Your life will be consumed by the female life path. For men to have independence and purpose and freedom in their lives and a life that makes sense for them, we have to establish ourselves. The world is set up to cater towards women and children. It is not set up to cater towards a man. You got to understand, like, women don't really have to go do anything for the system to work for them, because it's literally set up for them and children. It is like go look around every suburb, and we're going to discuss this, like, everything is built for the mother-child dynamic. Everything is built for this. As a guy, if you don't go out and build something for yourself, all that's left for you is the female child-centric world, and you have no freedom, no purpose, no adventure, nothing great in your life because of this. The world is set up to cater to women and children. What do I mean by this? All of this stuff right here, this is typical America shit, right? White picket fence, marriages, school buses, all this type of shit. This is all women shit. This is all for women and kids. And when you look around, like, there's like 5 places in America that aren't built for the mother-child dynamic. Everything is built for it. Safe suburbs, close to schools, wedding photographers everywhere. You got fucking minivans. You got all this type of shit, right? It's just like, it's all set up for women and children. None of this is for the guy. The white picket fence is a female fantasy that you've been sold, right? And I'm not saying you can't have a white picket fence, but that's a female dream. The female dream of, like, she opens the door, the front door, walks out on the porch holding a baby right here, and there's a little white picket fence, and there's a golden retriever running around in the front lawn. That is a female dream. That is not a man's dream. That is weird if that's a man's dream. Real shit. Like, I'm not saying you can't have these things in your life, that you can't have a nice house and have a white picket fence. That's fine. But just understand, like, you're chasing female goals when you do this shit. All of this is for the female. Real shit. Like, all the cars built for females. It's like safety first. And I'm not saying you don't want a safe car, but, like, guys want something reckless a little bit. We want some adventure. We want a loud, obnoxious car. We want some shit that goes fast. We want cool shit to do. Like, what is there to do in normal America? Like, most of you guys live in normal America, and you're probably bored shitless all the time. You're like, what is there to even do around here? So you go, like, join a fucking gym, and that's pretty much it. You work out, and maybe you hit up your friend from from college to go have a beer. Like that, it's not built for us, right? Women can pursue their innate purpose in life just by living like a normal person. A man cannot do that in America. He cannot find true purpose and a masculine life for himself just doing the normal thing, because it's not geared towards that. It's not built for that. And you got to think it just makes sense because, throughout history, it was like the men went out and conquered some shit and the women stayed behind the castle walls and raised everything. Like raised the kids, that is, not everything, raised the kids. And you got to think like basically men were constantly building and like fighting and creating things that they then set up for the women and children. So in a stable society, this just makes sense. I'm not bad mouthing this and complaining like there should be a fucking cigar lounge and a Ferrari dealership and a drag strip on every fucking corner or some shit like that, and like shooting ranges on the fucking suburb streets or some shit like that. I'm not saying we want that kind of stuff. Like in reality, you do want most things to be set up for that dynamic. But if you pursue the female-centric life path before pursuing your success, that becomes all you can get, and you lack all purpose and drive and connection to life as a man when you do this. If you don't set yourself up first, the only option available for you is the mother-child-centric lifestyle. To live a different life requires you to be successful. Like, you can't be a normie guy making normie money and live a masculine lifestyle. It's just not a thing. You can't be making $50K per year in normal America and have a masculine life. It just doesn't happen. Like, you'll go to a shooting range once a quarter with your uncle, and that'll be what you call a man's day, right? Like, you're not living like a man at that point. It's just not a thing. And this is how you end up relegated to shit like this. This is what the average man calls being a man in 2026. Some dungeon-looking man cave in the garage with a fucking wasp nest in the corner and some fucking shit TV that he watches sports on and plays video games. Or it's like a closet in his fucking house that he plays Xbox in. And it's like his little man corner, right? Like, this is where guys, like, they retreat away to these little boxes or crap environments to LARP like men, even though they're not acting like real men still, because they're not driving towards anything. They're just escaping the fact that their entire life is built around a woman and kids, and nothing is for them. And this is even encouraged in a lot of ways in our society, this idea that, like, men should just be selfless in everything they do. They should have nothing for themselves. It's all about go provide for the wife and kids. And yes, you want to be a provider, but I'm one of the only guys out here who will tell you, like, we don't need to be mad at women. We don't need to like hate on the system, but you also need to take your own side here and be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to provide. I'm going to build an epic life for you, but I also demand respect for that. And I also means that I'm going to live a life on my terms as well. I didn't do all this shit. I didn't sacrifice my life so that you could live your dreams. I built this shit for me and everyone around me, and I am primary to that because I'm the one driving the boat here. And you have to have that kind of mentality, but the average guy doesn't have that, and so he ends up in a fucking dungeon like this. It's totally ridiculous. You can avoid this by prioritizing success and growth before a relationship. Shit like this, guys, get into stuff that you're interested in. Go to the gym, start boxing. That's something I like. If it's not your thing, go do something else. Read, improve yourself, develop your mindset, build your career, hustle, grind, develop yourself. Do all that stuff first. Then you can circle back to the relationship once you've become successful and you've established yourself into the kind of guy who can have a good life for himself that he is connected to while also having all those other things that he wants. Number 2, the second big mistake that guys make is they don't ball out. Real shit. Sounds silly, but it's real shit, guys. Once a man makes the mistake of dating like a woman, the next natural step that follows is he doesn't ball out. So, like, you've committed yourself to a relationship before you've chased excellence. And now all of your time has been sucked into family-centric stuff. Like, you're thinking about kids. If you don't have kids yet, it's, your weekends are at IKEA, or they are meeting your in-laws and doing this stuff. And I had this girl invite me to this thing like a few weeks ago. She invited me to this like candle lighting thing that was big. There's a Latina girl. Like, she invited me to like this candle lighting thing that her family was doing. Apparently it was like this cultural thing. And I was just like, I had to just make some shit up. I was just like, I'm busy or some stuff. I mean, I was busy, but like I could have gone if I wanted to, but I was just like, I can't, I'm busy. Right. Cause it's like, why? Like this is the kind of shit guys end up doing. Like, you're doing some candlelit thing, eating empanadas and meeting fucking in-laws and shit. instead of pursuing growth and success. And because of this, you never get into a position where you can ball out. Because if you're doing all that stuff, you just don't have time to ball out, get your fucking money right, and live a high status, high level lifestyle for yourself where you are free to control your life. You can take care of expenses. Like, if you're not focused on that, you're focused on the relationship, you just aren't going to get both. It just very, very rarely happens. You have to be a very unique kind of guy with a very unique kind of girl to get into a relationship first and then ball out. It just does not happen. Very rarely does it happen. Without all your attention on getting the bag, you're going to make normie money. Real shit. You can't expect to live an exceptional life doing average man shit. And average man shit is relationship centric first. And so you're going to make $60K per year. Congrats. Good for fucking you. You can pay for an apartment or a fucking Mitsubishi or some shit like that. This is your life. You're going to be swamped in debt, making normie money for the rest of your life because you didn't focus on getting the bag. You chased a relationship first instead. And so then you end up in this spot. You're making normie money, paying a mortgage. You got 2 cars, kids, pets, family, couples, vacations, and you got to pay for the kids' education. It's like, guys, I'm not shitting on like the family thing, right? That's totally great. I encourage everyone to do it, but we can't ignore the fact that it is an enormous expense. And if you just go for that without solving the expense part first by balling out, getting your fucking money right, you are setting yourself up for an absolute world of hurt. Real shit, guys. Like right here, raising a child in the US to age 18 costs between $300,000 and over $400,000 for middle income families. So basically every kid that you get is a mortgage. You're going to pay according to this, $23,000 to $24,000 annually to pay for a kid. So every kid you get is a mortgage. So if you're making 50 grand a year right now and you're like, I can't afford a mortgage, you can't afford kids. It's just a fucking harsh reality of the situation, guys. If you want to have a good life for yourself, you got to ball out. Real shit. You just got to radically raise the standards for your income. Like being happy with 50K because that's what average people make, that's embarrassing. You got to get your shit together. You got to be like, if it ain't 150 grand minimum, I'm fucking up. So you're now swamped in debt, living expenses, plus your time is completely gone. You simply cannot get ahead under these conditions, guys. You cannot get ahead in a spot where you have no money to invest in yourself and no time to invest in yourself, because you need one of those two things. When you're starting out as a young guy in your early 20s, you probably don't have any money, but the luxury you do have is you have your time. And so you can hustle and grind and use that shit to get ahead. As you age, you start getting money. You can use the money to get ahead. The average guy has neither of those. All his time's gone. All his money's gone. His life looks like this. This is how you don't get ahead, right? Your weekends are spent cutting grass. Dishes need to be done, so you're rolling up your sleeves after you got back from your commute from your fucking desk job. You're going to like soccer practices and all this shit, chauffeuring kids around in the minivan, or you're discussing bills with your wife or your girlfriend or whatever the fuck, right? Like this is the kind of shit you're on, and it's like you're doing menial work, right? Cutting grass. Like hire somebody to do that shit. Hire somebody to cut the grass. Hire somebody to clean the house, do the dishes, all that kind of stuff for you. And then you actually get your time back so you can spend it with the kids. Because this is the funny thing about this, guys, is like the average guy will be like, oh, I'm not going to prioritize my career because I care about my family. I'm like, if you cared about your family, the best thing you could do is get your fucking money right. Because once you have your money right, you pay people to do all that shit that sucks up your time, the fucking accounting, the fucking yard work, the housework and the cleaning and all that stuff. You can pay people to do all that for you. So now you have your time back. So now you can go spend your time with your kid. And right here, guys, money is frequently cited as the number one thing couples fight about. Couples with no assets at the start of a 3-year period are 70% more likely to divorce. If you care so much about the girl, you want the girl so bad, best thing you can do is get your fucking money right, guys. Get your money right. It will solve these fucking problems for you. Wait until you're making great money in a career you love before pursuing a long-term relationship and family. And when you do it, it ends up looking like this, you know? Instead of the minivan and the fucking shitty little house I showed you at the beginning, you've got some sick house that you paid for that you can afford easily. You got the his and hers Mercedes going on. You're fucking traveling places and you can take the kids and the wife if you want, or like your girlfriend if you don't have kids yet. You can bring her with you and it's like some sort of business retreat. You're meeting up with your boys who are also entrepreneurs in some cool location. The whole thing's a business expense and it's just a dope time. And then right here, you know, you're working in an at-home office that you actually like. It's a cool environment for yourself. And the key thing about this is like, because you focused on success first, it puts you in a position where you have a purpose-driven career. Like you're doing something you like. Most guys, like, they don't have a career figured out. They get a girl and then they're like, well, I need to pay the bills. And so then they end up working in a widget factory doing some shit they don't give a fuck about, or they're in a cubicle punching numbers in on a spreadsheet or some stuff like that. And that becomes their life and they hate their work. And so they just come home to the female-centric life and they hate everything else about their life. Whereas if you built the success first, now you're in a career you actually like. You're pursuing something you have purpose with, you're engaged with. You probably have friends with work. You have business partners and business associates, like people you talk about work with. And so you have this rich life for yourself outside of the female-centric dynamic, which is so important to being a well-rounded man who feels fulfilled in his life, and also making sure that your dynamic with your chick goes well. Because if she's all you got, you're going to lose her pretty fucking quick. And so you're actually happy with the work you're doing, right? It's not soul killing, it's exciting. You get up, and so that becomes an outlet of purpose for you. Getting the bag is the best way to maintain freedom and have a woman in your life. The third big mistake that guys make that causes them to lose their freedom for a woman is bailing on the guys. You know what I'm talking about. Most guys, what do as soon as they get a girl? You never hear from them again. They're with the girlfriend all the time, and it's like, the guys will hit you with this whole thing like, my girl's my best friend, right? It's like, dude, you have no other friends. You gave them all up for a 5 out of 10, right? Like you have no other friends. The only other person you talk to is the pansexual guy in the HR department at your fucking corporation. It's like you got nothing else going on. Yeah, no shit, your girl's your best friend, dude. This is a huge mistake. Bailing on the guys will really fuck you up and put you in a life where you have no backbone, you have no testosterone, you have no drive for yourself, and you're just stuck with some chick in a female-centric reality, paying bills for a kid, living in a fucking man cave for yourself. It's a joke, guys. Male friends will help you keep your backbone, your testosterone, and your freedom. If all you have is your girl, you will forget about freedom. You will just, like, she will be your world, and whatever she wants will become your life. And your life will be narrowed down to discussing which Netflix show you're going to watch and discussing sorting laundry. And that will become your life. And freedom for you will be going to Chili's. And this will be your life because you gave up the boys. You haven't chased the bag. You've just fucked it all up, guys. Like, and you can just avoid this. And that's the point of this video, guys. While building yourself, you need to find high-quality friends. Now, it's important to understand, though, that 99% of men are doormats for their girl. These guys have no friends and no backbone, and you don't want to be friends with these guys, right? You look around in that normie America that is built for the female-child dynamic, and all you see is a bunch of guys with no friends who sit in a computer chair playing computer solitaire or playing online video games or whatever the fuck it is, because they've got nothing else going on in their lives and they have no friends. They don't see anybody. They don't do anything. They literally disappear from the world because they have a girl. And again, they have just been consumed by the female child dynamic. They've been consumed by that reality of hearth and home, matching PJs, all that type of shit. You don't want to be friends with these guys because you will end up like them, because you're going to be like your social group. What you want instead are real men. You want real men for friends. The real men out there are different. There are guys out there who are not playing this shit. And these guys are going to encourage you to pursue your mission in life. They will not allow you to be a cucked out doormat, and they will insist on doing epic shit together, guys. Like, when you find the right friend group, the idea of being a cucked out guy living in the female child dynamic with nothing else going on in his life, it goes out the window, because these guys have testosterone. They're going after shit. They're pursuing goals. They're just real men, right? They didn't give up their manhood for a woman. They didn't give it up. And so you're just going to do the same thing. And what does that look like? It looks like shit like this, you know? You're going to have some guys you work out with. Your guy friends are going to insist on going on cool trips, right? Like, you've pursued success, and so now you've met other successful guys, and those kinds of guys, they've got drive. They're not sitting around doing bullshit. They're like, you know what? We're all balling out here. We're making great money. We're taking a week off from our businesses. We're going on a kayaking trip through the Grand Canyon. We're whitewater rafting the Colorado River. We are all going on a business mastermind trip to the Colorado Rockies. We are going to Miami for a few days. Like, this is what we're doing. We're the guys. We've got our shit together. We run shit in our lives. We're all doing it, and you're just going to go along with that. You're going to be a part of that, and it's going to feel normal for you, as opposed to if everyone around you is just a wife jack kind of guy who just lives for his woman. Like, this type of thing seems ridiculous. You would never do this if you're one of those guys. You'd be asking your wife permission to turn the fucking TV on and shit like that. You'll be going to cigar meetings and things like that. Like, I got a lot of friends out in Arizona who do this kind of thing where, like, they've got girlfriends and things like that, and it's like, they spend more time with their guy friends because they're all like hustlers. They're all grinding. They all have that mentality about themselves. And so like they spend more time at the cigar lounge with their boys than they do with their girl, right? And if they're going out with their girl, like half the time they invite their guy friends and they bring their girl too. So it's like it's not just me and the girl all the time cuddling up watching movies. It's like me, my girl, the guys, and their girls. Like it's the group thing. And I'm talking to the guys more than I'm talking to the girls here. And the girls can go talk to themselves, right? Like it becomes that kind of vibe when you're around the right kinds of guys. And so you don't end up losing your manhood in the process of finding a woman. But most guys just completely blow this. Most guys say things like, let me ask my wife, which is just totally disgusting. Yeah, let me talk with the let me talk with the old ball and chain or the boss, right? Calling him the boss. Like, holy shit, that's so fucking embarrassing, right? If a man tells me that he needs to talk to his boss and it's his woman, I will literally just never speak to that guy again. Like this guy would stab me in the back. This guy, I can't trust his word because he's going to tell me he's going to do something. And then he's going to be like, the wife said no. Like, I get the fuck away from me, you fucking freak, dude. Like that shit is so ridiculous. Let me ask my wife. Real men say, I call the shots and I do what I want. This is how real men move. And when you're surrounded by these kinds of guys, they won't let you be on some bullshit with your girl. They will check you. They will take your side. They won't be talking about, well, maybe you should try and like listen to her more and some shit like that. They'll just be like, that bitch should be thrilled to be with you because you're a fucking G, dude. You're pushing yourself. You're way better than the average guy. You're making shit happen out here. If she's acting up, get rid of her. And like, that'll be the fucking mentality of those kinds of guys. And because of that, you will move different. The woman will respond differently to you. And this becomes natural when you're around these kinds of guys. Build success for yourself and find other successful men to be friends with before ever getting into a relationship. Get the guys sorted out before you get the fucking girl. You need to find your fucking best man and all those guys who are going to be standing next to you at your wedding if you're going to have a wedding. You need to find those guys before you ever find the chick. Real shit. Like otherwise you will never find them because your life will just be consumed again by that female child dynamic, by that normie life, white picket fence. We should get a dog, like all this stuff that starts just robbing you of your freedom. Like it will just completely wreck you. You will live your life on a female's timeline if you don't have successful guys around you to keep that from happening. They will keep you on track. They will keep you acting like a man and they will bust your balls if you're not acting like it. And this might seem impossible because everyone around you is a cucked out normie, right? Like you might be in a world where you don't ever see any guys who are actually moving like this. And so you're just like, how do I find these kinds of guys? And that leads us into the fourth thing the fourth big mistake that the average guy does that you need to avoid, which is that they don't know about the other side of male life. They don't know what's possible for guys. They only know this shit right here. Suburban life with a Chili's and a school bus. You probably grew up in the female child world. You grew up in that safe, predictable suburban lifestyle where it's like, this is how everything goes. And like, it's just so routine and it's hearth and home and it's set up for women and children. And so that's all you know. And so that's all you think is possible. And so that's what you settle for. You need to see what else is possible out there. You need to meet these guys. You need to go to places. You need to go experience life as a man so you can be like, oh shit, there's other stuff going on out here. Meet the guy friends. How are you going to meet them? By not chasing the relationship, by chasing success. That's when you'll meet those guys because that'll lead you to take a trip somewhere, move somewhere, get into a networking thing, mastermind with people, connect with people. Just like shit will start happening. You will meet these guys, but you got to chase success first. If you chase the woman first, you will never find these guys. You will be stuck in this reality. Most men grow up in a world built for normie life that caters to women and children. This limits what you believe is possible, and so you settle. Go see what's out there and meet the guys living different, and you'll change your perspective on everything. When you meet guys who are thinking different, acting different, it's just obvious how ridiculous the normie life is when you meet people moving different. You will look and be like, this is kind of what I try to do with all the content on my channel. Is like expose the absurdity of the normal life and how just garbage it is and how guys need to avoid this. And like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you see in the cold, harsh life, the godforsaken cubicle lifestyle, you can't unsee it. Once you see guys out there who have the respect of their woman and they call the shots in their life and they're doing cool shit and they're successful, you can't unsee it. You're just like, okay, like this is how I'm moving from now on, right? I'm not playing this fucking happy wife, happy life bullshit. Let me ask my wife for everything. Like, you're not going to play that game. You're going to stop. Like when you see what else is going on out there, you won't even give a shit about women. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I love women, but like I love them for what they are, but that doesn't mean that I'm like, I need this in my life. I'm like, my life is fucking awesome. There's like 100 things I would rather do than fucking go have dinner with a chick. Like I just so much shit I would much rather do. And when you see it, you can't unsee it. And suddenly fucking sushi night with a girl sounds like an absolute waste of time. And you're like, I'm fucking good on that shit, guys. This was me, guys, just so you know, like this is how this works. This was me at like 20 years old, sending some fucking heart picture to some girl because I was on that chasing a relationship mentality. I thought that's what you were supposed to do in life. I was like, I want to have my wife and kids at like 26 and all this stuff. I was like planning it out in my head. It was so important. This girl predictably dumped me and cheated on me too. Like no fucking surprise there because I'm just some dude who ain't got shit going on with his life at this point, fucking throwing hearts up on Snapchat messages. I ain't doing shit, right? So that's what you end up getting. But I was this guy. And then you go out, you meet people, you find out what's possible for you in life. I found out about entrepreneurship. I found out about just like, I found myself really is what it was. Like I started pursuing my interests. I focused on personal growth. I prioritized success over a relationship after this. And like, it just changed everything. I'm like, man, this is fucking great. And now here I am. It's like, you know, cool trips with the boys. I'm going places. I'm pursuing my interests. I talked about boxing. I work out. Like I literally am like, I got to take this girl on a date, but I'm like, fuck, that takes me off my diet. And like, I'm cruising on my diet right now. I feel great. You know, I'm like, fuck, this girl wants, it's like, I'm going to be up late with this girl. My sleep schedule is going to be fucked. Now I can't get up and focus on my business. It like literally changes everything once you find some purpose and see what else is going on out there outside of the normie box. You will find out for yourself that like the woman just ain't that big of a deal. And like, it's almost like something you'll get around to. And it really changes to a mindset of like, you stop chasing it and you just start going through your life, bulldozing through it, making shit happen, and they start jumping in front of you, right? Like that girl I mentioned who was like inviting me the fucking empanada night and all that shit. Like I don't even try to talk to that girl. She just hits me up. And that's just an example. Like this happens multiple times. Like this happens pretty frequently and shit. Like girls just start jumping in front of you and doing shit, like offering to make you dinner and stuff. And you're just like, sure, come make me dinner. Like it's like that type of shit starts happening because you're just making shit happen and you're a light in the dark of all these guys who have been completely castrated by normie life. You're out here making shit happen because you just figured out that there was another way to live. And so you got to go find this. Go watch inspirational people. Go get in different environments. Get out of your fucking hometown for a bit. You don't have to leave forever if you want to come back, but I think it's absolutely essential that guys spend time outside of their hometown for an extended period of time so they can see what else is going on out here. It'll change everything for you. You're like, I don't want to live like that. I know what the fuck I want for my life now. And you get way more clear. You just become way more confident. You naturally get that alpha mentality about yourself where you're just not taking shit off of women. You're just not going to be a happy wife, happy life guy once you've done this shit right here. Like, you know, taking boat cars out on the fucking Brickell Bay, having expensive dinners with your boys, having a great fucking time. You're just not going to be on the happy wife, happy life thing because you'd rather be doing this shit anyways. You know, you go on a cool trip. You're like, I'd rather do this with my guy friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want the girl because now I got to manage her shit. Like, I'd just rather do it with the guys, you know, like it's a thing. It will change everything for you. Most men give up their freedom for a woman because they don't know there's another way. Build a life that is so good you won't compromise on it. Find that other way. Start building something. This is about chasing success, building that network, creating a life that is intentionally great for you. And when you do this, you won't want to compromise on it. Like, I'm not compromising on my diet because I know who I want to be physically. I like it. I like training hard. I like being disciplined. I like this lifestyle. And so, like, if you want to be with me, it's like you're getting on my diet. I'm not breaking it for you, right? I'm not compromising. I got to work. So if you want to be with me, it's like you better get on my schedule. I'm not cutting out of work early. Are you kidding me? I'm going to cut out on my business early to come hang out with you. That sounds absurd when you think about it. And it's like, I'm going to give up my dreams. I'm going to half-ass my dreams so I can listen to you just fucking babble on about some shit. Cause that's just how it goes when you hang out with women. It's like, they're just like babbling nonsense. And I say this, like I said, I love women for what they are. Their role is great. Men have just elevated their role far too much in their life. They are not the pinnacle of your life. They're not the primary point of your life. They are an aspect that adds something absolutely to your life. But if you think that being on a fucking FaceTime call with a girl for an hour in the evening is the point of your life, you've got it all fucked up. And it means you don't have shit going on in your life. Because when you have shit going on in your life, you will just be like, can you please get off the phone so I can get back to my shit? Real shit. Like, but the thing is, like, most guys don't have anything going on in their life. They haven't seen what else is possible. They're living in the female child centric world, playing video games and smoking weed. And so, yeah, cuddles with a girl sounds fucking amazing when you're in that situation. But when you've got some shit going on you love, it's just like, it's a waste of your fucking time. It feels like it. The fifth big mistake that guys make, the final one, is they don't run shit. And you want to avoid this. By this point, of the four things that we've already discussed that guys have messed up, by this point, most men are broke, emasculated, and tired. They are completely crashed out. They chased the woman first. They didn't build their success. So now they're broke. They're tired. They're doing fucking dishes and sitting in a commute all fucking day. These kinds of things. They've lost their manhood completely. They have no friends. Like, they are completely fucked. And this is how you end up in this spot where you did all this shit for this girl. You made her the fucking point of your life. The whole point of your life was this girl, and she's hitting you with the whole, I love you, but I don't feel the same way. You want to sleep with her, and she's just like, I don't feel that way anymore. I do love you, but I just don't feel that way anymore, right? That kind of bullshit they will fucking hit you with. Or like talking about some like, you always screw up, or she's just annoyed and like resentful at your existence, right? It's like you did all this shit for a woman. You gave up your freedom and all this kind of stuff, and she's disgusted with you in the end because you just played it all fucking backwards. And it's like, it's the guy's fault, because he lived his life completely wrong. And I want you guys to avoid ending up in this kind of situation. The woman runs the average guy's shit, and he's looking for every chance to escape to his dungeon man cave. So his life is a commute to a job he hates, come back, let me go to the fucking man cave and get the fuck away from this nagging wife and the screaming kids. Like, that becomes the average guy's life. But this can be avoided by running shit. And if you did the first 4 steps, it's very easy to run shit with your girl and eventually your kids, right? If you did the steps of, you're balling, you've got your career right, you've got some confidence because you're going after purpose, you've accomplished some shit, you're making good money, you're going after it, you're living a life you enjoy, doing epic shit, and you're hanging around guys who are just like real men who are making shit happen out here, who act like men, it's just natural you're going to run shit. You won't have it any other way. Like, I would not have it any other way with a woman in my life. There's no possible scenario where I won't run shit with any girl I'm with, because I would rather just not have her around than compromise on anything. And I mean that genuinely. And so, like, when you get into that mentality, this is how, every guy's looking for tactics and hacks to make a girl chase him. The ultimate tactic and hack is getting to the point where you genuinely are like, this woman is like priority number 100 for me. And when that happens, everything else will take care of itself. When you mean that shit, you don't have to worry about all your women problems. Will real shit solve themselves. Like, and the only women you will end up with are ones that are on your terms, because you're running shit, because you know who the fuck you are and you know what you're about. You're not going to tolerate shit because you know who you are. And when you run shit, guys, this is what your life looks like. You're the one deciding where you're going to live. It's not a joint decision. This whole, like, I need to discuss this kind of thing with my wife or my girlfriend, right? Like, I got a friend, he moved across the country, and you know what he did? He told his girl, he said, quit your job. We're moving to Phoenix. He didn't say, hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? Do you think this would be a good idea? I know you want to be close to your family, but would it be okay? All that type of bullshit. He just said, no, this is how we're doing it. And you know what she did? She came along. She was like, okay, right? Because women want you to run shit, but you can't run shit if you haven't set yourself up right. So, like, you're deciding these things, and that's freedom, right? You're not stuck in a town because it's a good town for the school district, for the kids, and it's close to your in-laws. Like, why are you hanging out with your wife's parents anyways? That's fucking weird. Like, she joined your family, not the other way around. Like, guys will be doing this shit, though. It's like you're trapped in some random town because of the girl. It's like, nah, babe, we're moving to Dallas. We're moving to San Diego. We're doing this shit because there's a good opportunity for my business here, and this will be a great life. This will be fucking sick. We're doing this shit. That's how it's going to be. You're running shit. There's no joint decisions on things. There's no joint decisions on expenses. You're not asking, like, can I turn on the TV and shit? Like, you just do what the fuck you want. It is your life, and she is in it. And that's how you want to set this thing up. You see the guys when you want, and she's cool with it. There's no, you spend too much time with your friends, I don't like that friend, blah, blah, blah. There's none of that type of shit. You're just like, I'm going out with the boys, see ya, right? There's no fucking, like, and I'm not saying you're being a dickhead to your girl. Like, if you made plans with your girl and you just, like, blow them off with her to go hang out with your guy friends, that's kind of fucked up, right? But, like, it's a random night, and you're just like, hey, I'm going out, me and the boys. There's no, oh, but, like, we could do this thing, all this type of shit, like, and, like, guilt tripping you and telling you spend too much time with your guy friends. Like, it's just, this is how it's going to be. I'm doing what the fuck I want to do. You call the shots as head of your life and your girl's life. So, like, your life is directed by you, not a woman, not a female child centric dynamic. It is directed by you. Your girl, it gets absorbed into this life that you have built because you've done all those first steps. You are in a great spot for yourself. You are a man who has purpose and passion and drive in his life. She is absorbed into that. And so you run shit in your life. And as an extension, you run shit in her life. It's not like a thumb on her trying to manipulate and control her kind of thing. It's like, this is just how it's going to be. And it's understood. You're the fucking leader. It's not questioned, right? And this will apply to your kids eventually as well. You have everyone fitting into your life instead of accommodating everyone at the expense of your freedom. Most guys just like accommodate. They have no freedom, no purpose, no adventure in their life because they accommodate people. You're not accommodating, right? It's like, fit into the plan we've got going on. Yes, I'm going to take care of you, but I'm calling the shots here. This is how it's fucking going. You're not wasting time hanging out with the in-laws. Like I said, like, why are guys, this is a hot take of mine, but like, I don't want to see my eventual wife's family at all. Like, real shit, guys. Like, maybe they can come over for Christmas or Thanksgiving, one of the two, something like that. But like, why are they around? I didn't marry them. You know, I married you. You joined my family. You took my last name, right? My family's primary here. That's the game. You joined my clan. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, guys just be like, their girls like, we got to go see my parents. And so like, it's like you're fucking spending time with some 60-year-old guy that if he wasn't the father of your girlfriend or wife, you would never talk to this guy a day in your life. You have nothing in common with him. And you're just fucking yakking it up with this guy at a fucking barbecue on the weekend while your dreams fucking slip through your fingers. It's like, what are we doing, guys? Like, so you don't waste time with this because you're running shit. And again, I got friends doing this. They literally be like, your family, I'm not spending time with your family. Your family's boring. I'm not doing it. I have friends who do this with their girlfriends. Like, your family's boring. I'm not spending time with them. You can come hang out with my family. I'm not fucking flying home so I can see your fucking parents. Not doing it. And it's cool. And you know what else you get from this? You get the love of your woman in a way the average man never does. When you run shit and you've set this up, you get your cake and you eat it too. She likes you better than the guy who's got a girl and he's just the average guy and he did it all backwards and gave up his freedom. She likes you for this shit. She likes the fact that she came home and you said, pack your bags, we're going somewhere. She likes the guy who just does his shit, and she gets to get into that. They want to mold themselves to your life. They don't want to co-build it with you. This is a fucking facade. They don't want that shit, guys. Just understand it. Don't fall for the scam. This is how you avoid ending up like 99% of men who have no freedom, no balls, and no respect from their woman. You avoid these 5 mistakes. Play it right. You can live differently. You don't need to be on some MGTOW shit. You just need to play this right. And the next step from here, guys, is you need to go watch the Stay Single and Boring for 3 Years video, because this is the mentality you got to start with so you can build your success so you can eventually get to this point. I'll put that video up on screen. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.